Now, we'll get defensive, starting with the linebackers. Keith Rivers is my top linebacker, a solid all-around tackler who has enough speed to be effective in the pass coverage game and can play inside or outside. Number 2 is Philip Wheeler out of Georgia Tech, a playmaker at and behind the line of scrimmage, a solid run and pass blitzer. Number 3, Sean Crable out of Michigan, great closing speed, can run with most tight ends, and gets tackles in bunches. Honorable mention goes to Ben Moffitt out of South Florida, a mature linebacker and a Mike Vrabel type. He likes to be very physical, but doesn't have the pass rushing ability of Vrabel yet. Moving on to defensive tackles. Glenn Dorsey and Cedric Ellis can command the line of scrimmage with power and terrific initial burst. My number 3 guy is Travis Law's Notre Dame. Travis has a high motor much like former Notre Damer Derek Landry, now with the Jacksonville Jaguars. Perfect for a 4-3 scheme, looking for a tackle to shoot the gaps and be disruptive in the middle. Honorable mention, Carlton Powell out of Virginia Tech. I like him strictly because he plays angry. Moving on to a position I like to call tweeners, a defensive end / outside linebacker. Vernon Golston showed the same athleticism at the combine that raised the stocks of DeMarcus Ware and Sean Merriman in past drafts. On pure edge rush, he dominated Big Ten offensive tackles. Chris Long. I bought into the hype. Celebrated final season of his college career, but I don't remember him being part of the top of the draft conversation till just before the combine. Finally, Bruce Davis out of UCLA. Well-spoken young man with good edge speed and body control. Undersized for an every down defensive end. And moving on to defensive ends, we start with Derek Harvey out of Florida. A combination of speed and length. He'll make an early impact on passing downs if he gets those long arms in the air, taking away the quarterback's passing lane. Number 2 is Chris Ellis out of Va Tech. A 4.56 40 shows his tremendous speed as a lineman. Played left and right end against Boston College last season, getting it to the quarterback from both sides. USC's Lawrence Jackson. Good size, strength, and fundamentals, but needs to work on consistently pressuring the passer. Honorable mention goes to Calais Campbell out of Miami. Disappointing final season for Calais, but his size alone at 6'8" will cause problems for opposing linemen. Moving on to cornerbacks. My top guy is Michael Jenkins out of South Florida, a physical defender who stuck to his opponents in Big East play. Number 2 is Brandon Flowers, solid man-to-man defender, tenacious hitter for a corner. Aqib Talib, terrific size and ability, but some GMs may have character issues with him. Honorable mention, Leotis McKelvin. Maybe the first cornerback drafted, but he went to Troy. I know Troy has put out some good NFL players such as DeMarcus Ware and Osi Umenyiora in the past, but I have yet to watch a Troy football game. And finally, safeties. We start with Tom Zibikowski, an aggressive safety with good athleticism, but shows a lack of focus at times. Could be great on a team that likes to stack 8 in the box. Kenny Phillips out of Miami. The U with another good-sized safety. Can't go wrong there, I think. Jamie Silva out of Boston College. A ball hawk and a playmaker. Questions about size and speed come up, but they disappear when he's on the field. Honorable mention, Dennis Keys, UCLA. A hard hitter who may play himself into some injuries. A very aggressive guy. Here's a quick peek at some 2009 defensive prospects. Michael Johnson out of Georgia Tech, a tall defensive end who gets to the passer. Ray Maliuga, linebacker, USC. He may be the hardest hitter in college football. And of course, another Penn State linebacker. And that concludes Lance Robbins NFL Draft Preview 08. Thanks for tuning in. I hope you gained some insight, and we'll just see how these predictions come out in a couple of years.